My name is Seth, and this is my story. Growing up, I had which would say your normal childhood life growing up, friends, family, went to school, went to college, and nothing out of the ordinary until I was 21 years old, and I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease, stage 1A, and told when you have cancer that if you have to get it, it's the best kind to get. The doctor was kind of amused. I don't know if you can find humor in having cancer, but at least I was told that it was simple. I'd have radiation therapy from the bottom of my chin to the stomach area for 1 month, and that should take care of it. And I did the therapy. Then 3 months went by, no problem. 6 months, no problem. Did my yearly checkups and told I was cured, and everything was fine until while teaching in New York, I started having problems with my upper and lower extremities as far as losing feeling, uh, spasticity, hard to turn my neck, and I find out that after an MRI, I'm bleeding a little bit as far as a test showed by the spine, and further tests showed I had a hemangioma, and I had to have it removed or it could kill me. Ironically, it was in the same area where I had my radiation therapy, and wasn't warned that could happen, but had no choice anyway. So I had a cervical laminectomy. Anyone who knows anything about that, C3 through C6, they had to remove the bone so they can get to the area. Removed it, and that was successful, except I had a side effect where I had my last two fingers on my left hand, I lost some feeling in them, and my left leg, I had unfortunately a lot of tightness, stiffness, spasticity, clonus, you name it, I had it in there. So I had to walk with the cane, and from 1998, when I had that surgery, which I can never forget the date, March 10th, 1998, since it was a couple of days before my 28th birthday, can't forget that. Anyway, I had physical therapy from 98 to 2004 on a whole bunch of different medicines to try and help, but it wasn't as successful until 2004. I qualified for something called a baclofen pump, where they put it in your body, and it regulates this medicine called baclofen that controls spasticity and helps with the stiffness, and it does it at a level that's controlled, and you wouldn't be as fatigued or be like a zombie. That was successful, and as the months went by, I started to see some progress until April of 2005, when I lived in New York, I boarded a plane using a cane from JFK to visit family in Las Vegas, Nevada for 1 week. When I came off of the plane, coming back from Vegas a week later back to New York, I needed a walker just so I could barely walk. In 1 week, all of a sudden, I was having a lot of trouble walking, and I was getting the same symptoms I had in 98. And after some tests, sure enough, the hemangioma came back, and they had to do another cervical laminectomy. That time they went from C3 to C7, and they had to be careful because they said if they went any deeper, I could be paralyzed. And they removed what they could, killed it off, but that procedure unfortunately affected the right side of my body, and I couldn't use my right hand, I couldn't use my right leg, and I became paralyzed from the waist down. And they told me at age 35 I would never walk again. Um, Needless to say, I was not pleased with that, and luckily, um, through the help of my parents and my mom, especially my mom making phone calls, I was able to get to this spinal rehab hospital out in Colorado, where they told me that they were wrong with the diagnosis, that if I wasn't definitely paralyzed, if I would get anything back, it would be anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. And 3 months later, I was one day in my wheelchair, and I had the urge to try and move my ankle up and down, and sure enough, I was able to do it. Needless to say, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, I started a little bawling like a little kid. I think anyone would, being told you'd be paralyzed for the rest of your life, then all of a sudden you are able to move something of your lower extremities. So I went to physical therapy from December of 2005 to September of 2006, and after much aggressive therapy, I went from being stuck into the wheelchair to using a walker, a tripod, and as you can see, finally I was able to get up on crutches, and they said I defied the odds, and very happy. And I thought I could progress more, and I moved to Las Vegas with my family in 2008, and in 2010, during a charity event for children with heart disease, there was this 3K walk in this mall, and since I was progressing, I swore that I would walk as far as I could without my crutches, as a way to inspire the kids and myself, of course. I walked 100 feet without anything. I had friends from work cheering me on, some of the kids were cheering me on, and it was, I can't even put into words how I felt, that I was defying the odds again, and I could actually take steps on my own, and I figured I'd be able to keep going eventually with my therapy and be able to get rid of the crutches. In 2011, I had a routine surgery where that baclofen pump needed to be replaced, and the catheter as well. Supposed to be a simple procedure, and when it was over, there was too much anesthesia because I couldn't walk. My parents had to get a wheelchair because I couldn't have any strength in my legs to stand. But after a day or two, it cleared up, and I thought that'd be the end of it. But as the months went on, trying to regulate my medicine and everything, I got worse. And the days of taking steps without using my crutches became trying to take steps with my crutches without needing the wheelchair, that I fought so hard to get out of. And as time's going on, I'm slowly being drawn back in. I'm getting ready to have a surgery tomorrow to reposition the catheter, in the hopes that it's pressing on a nerve, and that's what it is. If it's successful, then I can hopefully then start getting my way back to walking without the crutches. If it's not successful, then either things will stay the same, and I need to now see if there's any other way to get out of this, or fear is that it would put me in the wheelchair. But I fought this far, and I'm not planning on giving up. I've been told by people that I know, people I meet down the street in restaurants, that they hear my story, that I'm an inspiration to them. And I decided a long time ago that if my story could help just one person, which I did find out down the road it has, then I could live with myself saying this was worth it. I'm showing this and recording this to hopefully continue that, no matter what happens, that I can inspire. And I hope that this will help to do what needs to be done and help others. My name is Seth, and this is my ongoing story.